Welcome everyone tonight. There's a lot of people here. We have 29 people, so I'm surprised and pleased. So thank you for coming. Again, my name is Pam Anderson, and I am the current chair of the First Families of Franklin County. And tonight what we'd like to do is to introduce or reintroduce you to the First Families program. And I'm letting somebody in. So. And my slides are not advancing. Oh, there we go. So why was the First Families program developed? For three reasons. First, to honor Franklin County's pioneers, and then to identify your ancestors that left a mark on our county by using genealogy research, which is where I come in. And third, to encourage interest in those who founded our county. The program began in August of 1984 with 7 approved applicants. And as you might know, 1984 coincided with Franklin County's bicentennial. Franklin County, you all know probably, was formed in 1784. Treva Lawyer was the first director and the first applicant to the program. When Treva stopped being director, Bonnie Bingaman took it over, and then I took it over from Bonnie in January of this year. So I am a real newbie.
Program is
about the First Families, I think.
Oh.
And if you guys could mute yourself, I would appreciate it. And I'm trying to advance my slides right now. Sorry, Neil, I'm not advancing.
all right.
There we go. I just have to click on that slide again. Okay, so in September of 1984, the Public Opinion wrote an article about the First Families because it was a big deal. It recognized the program, and it also recognized Treva as the first family applicant. Then in April of 1986, there was another article in the Public Opinion, and this is a photograph from the article. On the left is Phoebe Connor with Treva on the right, and most of you that have been to the Historical Society will recognize the library that they're standing in front of there. Phoebe obtained 8 certificates for her family for 3 pioneers, so that was quite a bit. From 1984 to 86, the program had 64 applications. According to the article, they were from California, Florida, New Jersey, and in between. Apologize for the phone in the background. So to date, we have 226 applications approved in almost 40 years. We'll be coming up on our 40-year. Oh my gosh.
Jobs in the economy to our
excuse please.
Constitutional rights. Again, this is Congressman John Joyce. Please stay on this line to participate on this call.
Yes, sorry, not my house. So in the first decade, we had 139 applicants approved. From 1994 to 2021, we've had 87. So that's about 3 per year, and about 30 per decade is what it averages out to. So we have some work to do to advertise this program. What are the eligibility requirements? First of all, you must be a direct descendant of a pioneer of Franklin County. The pioneer must have been living in Franklin County by 1818. And the reason 1818 is because that's when the jail was built. But the applicant does not have to be a current resident of Franklin County. The easiest way to get an application is to go on our website, franklinhistorical.org. So once you get on the website, you click on the library/research tab, and then go to the first families of Franklin County. All of our first families are listed there, and it is periodically updated. So, how to apply? You have to complete and mail in the application, and that's pretty much it. It needs to be typed or printed. Oh yes, and the application fee, which is $25, which I think is quite reasonable, with copies of documents, not originals, copies. And those documents will prove settlement by 1818 and link each generation back to the pioneer. Then the applications are filed at the Historical Society for use by future researchers. What types of documents can prove generational links? Now, Pennsylvania's birth, marriage, and death certificates are available after 1906. So you may not have too many of those actual certificates. Before 1906, there are other records that you can use to prove relationships between generations, and they are listed here. These records, some can be found at the Historical Society, some can be found at the Franklin County Archives, and some can be found online. And here's the application, and this was done by Bob Mon. Bob is here in attendance tonight, so I'm really happy that he's here because I'm using him as an example. And if everybody could fill out their application like Bob did, I would be so excited because this was so easy to read. So on the first page is your contact information and your ancestors' information, their name, where they lived in Franklin County, like the town or the townships, because we want to get them pretty close to where they were living, and where they came from before they lived in Franklin County. And then we'll complete the bottom of the first page. And I have somebody waiting. I'm letting in. Pages 2 to 5, you will link your ancestors using records that prove relationships. So the applicant fills out the top part, which is the first generation, generation 1. And in that section, you will have your birth record linking you to your parents. Then your parents, which is generation 2, their birth and marriage records that link them to your grandparents. And then on each proof document, you should write the corresponding generation number. So on your documents, as the applicant, you would write a number 1 on each document. On your parents' documents, generation 2, write a number 2. Your grandparents, write a number 3, et cetera, et cetera. The last page, page 6, again, you're going to name your original ancestor, and you can name their children. This is optional. However, it will help other researchers if you can put children down there that they may recognize somebody they can link to. And we also need proof of Franklin County residency by 1818. Proof can be in census records, deeds, tax records, anything that tells us that your ancestor was here. And finally, sign and date that the information is true. And then congratulations. After you're approved, you'll receive this lovely first family certificate with your name and your number and our signatures. By 1818, there were at least 30,000 people living in Franklin County. If each family had about 6 people, that would be about 5,000 potential settlers. And remember, we only have 226 applications and some are repeats. So here is my ask. Please apply. If you've already applied, submit another application. It can be for another ancestor or for one of your descendants or another descendant of the same ancestor. You could submit an application for your daughter, your son, your sister, brother, aunts, uncles, anyone who is directly related to that pioneer. And encourage others to apply because it's not that hard. And it's a great way to honor your family's history. And that concludes my presentation on the First Families of Franklin County. I want to thank Neil and Ann for inviting me here. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them. I cannot see the chat box if there is anything in there. So Neil, if there are any questions, can you read them?
There must be 5.
What was that, Ann?
I thought I was muted.
No.
Evidently, I'm not. I said there are 5 in the chat box.
Okay, don't stay mute. Don't mute yourself because I may need your help answering questions.
You're doing fine, Pam. You're doing
If anybody has any questions, think them over here and then just go into the chat. Like I said, it's right in the middle of the screen. You click on that and it'll give you a place to start typing your question. And
Can
it will
you-
go out to everybody will see the question.
Neil, can you ask me the question because I don't see it the chat box right now.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah,
Let me see if I can.
should be at the
Fine.
bottom.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoop. So
Okay.
people are saying hello to you. And, oh, well, thank you, Shelley, for offering to let people in. And how do you access the First Family's certified information? So I guess if you are, I'm not sure that question, you might need some clarification. Jay can't. If you would like to unmute yourself.
So my question is, I'm a member of the Historical Society. If I wanted to see those files, how do I do that? In other words, the information that you already have.
Yes, come into the Historical Society and we're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday now. And they are in the back room in a horizontal filing cabinet. So you just need to ask Ingrid or Jenny or Ann or me or whoever's there, and they will know where they are and you can go back there and look through those files.
If you don't live in Pennsylvania.
Well, you can make a research request to the Historical Society, and I'm the one that does the research requests. I'm there every Tuesday morning. And so and you can also go on the website and check the list of names of First Families to see if the person you're interested in is already in our system.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a second question there, I think.
Yeah, I think so. SAR, DAR applications. There's probably information on those applications. Our SAR and DAR applications, which give the family chain back to the time of revolution, adequate. I think that probably having talked to Ann, and she is the DAR guru, so she would be able to answer this better than me. But I think that DAR, we accept the same proof that DAR and SA. Well, I'm not sure about SAR. I know DAR. We accept that same thing.
Am I muted, Pam?
No, you're good.
Okay. DAR applications would be accepted. SAR we have to do some work with that.
Okay.
Not all SAR applications that I've worked with that I've found are correct. So we would have to work with that. But the DAR applications would be acceptable, yes.
Okay, great. And our family genealogy is acceptable proof. Well, it depends. If the genealogies are documented with the documents that link the generations together, then yes. So, if it's just a pedigree chart that's written up with no citations or documentation or footnotes, then we would need you to find documentation for that. And we would help. And I think, unless anybody has any other questions, I don't see anything else in the chat box.
Well,
Anne or Neil, is there anything that you want to add that I might have skipped over?
no, not really.
Oh, and there's another question. Another question just popped up. Hold, please. Does the surname have to be the same in every generation? I'm going to say no, because you could be linking from a male to a female and then to other males back. So no.
Can I be heard?
Yes,
Can you
Hugh.
hear me? I traced my lineage back to at least two people who were residents of the county, and my name is Fullerton, so that'll be familiar to some of you. You mentioned that one of the early applicants had several approvals. Does that mean that several lines of her family traced back like mine?
Yes. Yeah, so if she did an application for herself, and maybe her son and daughter did one also, or maybe her mother did one, but that's all in the same line.
Okay, what about if you have more than one line that traces back to Franklin County?
Well, so your pioneers may be like your great grandparents, the couple. Is that what you're asking about?
No.
Can I say something?
Humphrey Fullerton, of course, was one of the judges when the county was established. But his daughter, I'm not sure I have it right, married a Stewart. And Hugh Stewart had lived in the southern end of the county at the same time. That's how their children met, I'm sure. So does that qualify me twice?
Can I answer that?
Go ahead, Ann.
It would be the same thing as a DAR application. You have your original pioneer, and then if you want to add other ancestors to the project, they would be supplementals.
John Joyce.
So yes, you would be able to do that.
Okay. The
Go ahead.
reason I ask, at present, neither Fullerton nor Stewart are listed as names that are in your first family records.
Oh, good.
And I
New
think
ones.
they both should be.
Yes, I agree.
That's great. And thank you, Anne. Another question, if both main ancestor and his son settled before 1818, do I need to do a separate application? It's 2 in 1. Yeah, if you descend from that son, then that's just one application that would go back to either the son or the ancestor, whoever you want to go back to.
Well, now I'll ask kind of a related question. The two names I was just citing are from my father's side. I suspect my mother's side has some people who were resident of Franklin County during the post-revolutionary period. I haven't checked them all out. I know they lived in Cumberland County, but I'm not sure that they lived in what is now Franklin County.
Well, you check those out, and anybody that was here before 1818.
Oh, it would have been before 1818 because they moved then to Western Pennsylvania.
That's fine. Yeah, you check them out and let us know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. I think I have 3 first families,
All right.
but only because I've seen the names of the list of the first families. how much research do I have to do, and what do I have to do? I have a Myers, a Sellers, and a Stauffer, and Abraham Stauffer, and I can't remember the seller's name, but and that it's Henry Myers. So
Well,
there's
what you'll need to do is to come into the Historical Society and see how much research has already been done.
well, that's what I figure. There's a lot that's been done, and do I have to actually? How do I use that to make get it?
You make copies of their copies.
Okay, so I can use their results. The people that are already first families, I can take theirs and then make it fit me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We want to make it as easy as we can. And Anne has revised the application this year to try to make it even easier than it has been in the past. So we'll do everything we can to help you.
Okay, great.
I have a question.
Mhm.
If both my great-great-grandfather and my great-great-grand, do I do 2 separate applications? Or
Who are they again?
they were married?
Yeah, you can do 2. Sure.
Does it make more sense to do 2 or to do 1?
Well, you can do 1 and then do what's called a supplemental that I think is $15. So it's not as much as the original one. It just depends on how many people you want to recognize as pioneers of Franklin County. And I hope to come back in the fall to talk about Emily Reed sometime, or the winter, or any time. So, yeah.
We'll see that you do.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.